What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to join and tune into the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
You loved her as Thelma Evans in Good Times. Now Finkley has her. Bern Nadette Stanis is with us. All coming up next.
All my life just to make it. If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side. Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. Just to make it.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. I still get very, very excited when persons reach out to me and they say, hey, I love what you're doing, and you know, you have some awesome content and it looks great, it looks clean cut, all this kind of good stuff. I like to be on. I still get a rush from that. And because, I tell you this, because I always teach myself to be humble in everything that I do, because anything that I do, we pray, you know, we have to talk with God about it, and we were raised that way. And so when people do this and say these things, you know, it's very humbling, but it also gives me energy to keep going, gives me my fuel to keep going to what I really want to achieve, want to do with this platform. So thank you for the ones that have been on this show. Thank you for the ones that have reached out. Thank you for the future persons that are looking to reach out as well, but haven't quite done so already. I say this because on Monday, we will be celebrating 100 shows, y'all. 100 shows, can you believe it? I wasn't even going to start this platform, but it's something that's been on my mind for years, but I didn't know how to get started with it. So I pondered and pondered. People say you should do it this way, that way, another way, but you know, I said I'm gonna do it my way. I already had a vision for it. I already know I wanted to sound and look, and here I am. 11 months later, here I am celebrating 100 episodes because of you. You watch, you click, you subscribe, you want more, you email us, you write us, and we thank you for it. Thank you. And so today, we're able to have guests like Bern Nadette Stanis. Oh, Bern Nadette Stanis is here with us from Good Times. Y'all know her from Thelma. Thelma from Good Times. Y'all know her. Y'all, we had a great conversation and things got real in this interview too, I tell you, but you have to watch to see what I'm talking about. So don't you go away, more to come. We'll be right back. Coming up, we have the lovely Bern Nadette Stanis with us. Don't you go away, we'll be right back. Celebrating 100 shows. It's the Michael Finkley Show. Join us as we count down our top 5 shows and never-before-seen moments. Come on, y'all, let's celebrate. Next, Michael Finkley. Monday. Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie, Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show. welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all see my guest beside me. This is History Among Us. Y'all, she is Thelma Evans of Good Times. Y'all, introducing Bern Nadette Stanis. How are you?
Fine, Michael. How are you?
I am super well. Thank you so much for being with us. Oh my word. So I must do this first. Because my mom actually grew up watching you. So she told me to say hello. She loves you. She loves you, still loves you.
Hi, Mom. What's Mom's name?
Her name is Carol Finkley Nixon.
Wow, Carol. Hi, Carol.
Yes, I did it for you, Mama. Okay, don't beat me. I did it for you, Mama.
You have a beautiful smile, Michael.
Thank you so much. Oh, she's gonna love that part. Now, I must say, why don't you age?
I do.
Why don't you? You don't look it.
Thank you. I pray every night, God, please don't let me look my age.
Oh my word, it's still beautiful, that awesome smile.
Thank
and
you.
Still out here making a difference in the world today, and we thank you for it. So as you know, everyone is dealing with COVID-19, right? We're trying to push through it, all that kind of good things about that. So in this time, what have you learned about Bern Nadette that you did not know before?
That I like I told my daughters, this is a time where we have to deal with ourselves and we have to deal with simple things. I learned that living simply is just fine. You can still make it whatever. You don't have, just be simple. Do simple things. Understand that this is not going to last forever. God loves us. Be obedient, wear your masks, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go into the crowds that you used to hang out in all the time. And just do the simple things and just pray a little bit more for your tranquility, because this can make you very anxious. And so that's what I've learned to just, I always prayed, but I do pray even more now because I just want to stay calm. And I just want to know that if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll be okay.
Right. We have to be okay, because if we speak it, it has to come to pass. That's right. What I've always been taught. It has to. And also through experience. Yes, ma'am. And so let's go back. So you're at a beauty pageant many moons ago, and someone actually discovered you there. Talk about that. Talk about that moment.
That was interesting because what was it? Oh my goodness, I forget his name. But anyway, there was a beauty pageant and it was only for adults. Like they had like 18 and over. And so my mom said that there should be a pageant for, teenagers, because we want to be in pageants too. So Hal Jackson, that's who she spoke with. So because he was in charge of the adult pageant. So the very next year he had a teenage pageant. So of course I'm saying, Mom, yeah, I'm going to be in it. So 8 weeks later, okay, we're going every week to practice and the whole thing. And mind you, my mother has 5 children. So, she's taken us all up to Manhattan, and we're living in Brooklyn and all in Manhattan. And so that Sunday of the show, I got up and I looked in the mirror. And, every time you're getting ready to make a leap in the world, no matter what it is, you're going to have the little devil on the other side talking to you and telling you, no, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I'm like, oh. So here I am sitting there looking at myself and going, come on. You never won any pageant before. You're not going to win now either. So my mother comes in and I said, Mom, I'm not going. And I fought with that, not fought, but Mom, I'm not going. I had an attitude, and mothers know, parents know, so you're going. And I'm like, so anyway, I ended up going, and that's where my mom met the manager while I was on stage, and he said, they're doing a television show, and your daughter looks like she could fit right in there. Well, of course, we went to CBS the next day. Norman Lear was there, Jimmy Walker was there, and it was thousands of girls. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, so I go in there, I audition, do my little thing, and I don't care. I figured, well, hey. Anyway, I did my thing. Me and Jimmy were like brother and sister. Norman started laughing. I think that kind of won him over. And the next thing I knew, they flew me out to California, flew us out to California. There were only 4 girls then. And then came back to New York, didn't hear anything for about a month or so. So I forgot about it.
Wow.
Then they called my mom and said I was Thelma.
I love it. Oh, and the rest is history, right? The rest is truly television history. And during that time back in 1975, you all were the first African-American family. You became the first African-American female teenager. How did it feel to be the first?
Well, the first, it felt great. I didn't really know that much about being the first then, but,
Gotcha.
going back to that pageant thing, I just want to say this, what I learned. I learned that don't let fear stop you from walking into your destiny.
Ooh, I'm so glad you said that.
Don't let fear.
Ooh, that's my theme for the year. Wow. No more fear in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah, because I was afraid, and I would have never have been Thelma, had I not, jumped on the back of my mother's faith. That's basically what it was. So being the first African-American teenager on television didn't really dawn on me until way after the show. I mean, it just didn't. And I just wanted to do my best and be my best. I wanted to, that's just how I was. And I knew the character. They did not know how to write for her. They didn't understand being the first. They did not understand who she was. I knew because I was born and raised in Brooklyn, in Brownsville, in the projects. I knew her very well.
Right.
So Esther told me you go right on up there and talk to those writers and those producers and tell them who Thelma is. And I did.
Wow, amazing. Wow, because they didn't understand because we had a lot of white writers on the show,
correct?
You
had mostly white writers, and even if you had probably 1 or 2 Black writers, there's no guarantee that they knew how to write, for a female or a young teenager either. Right. So I had to help them to understand that a young Black girl from the projects can speak well, is intelligent, can, have aspirations to be a doctor or whatever, just like any other teenager anywhere else in the USA or world.
Gotcha. Wow. And I was introduced to Good Times as a child because, of course, my mom watched it growing up. And ever since then, my sisters and I, we've seen every episode. Even my little nephew, who was 5 years old, loves the theme song. Right. And so it's like we grew up on it as well. And so as time went on, you perfected that role of Thelma Evans. Are you truly Thelma Evans? What's the difference? Who's the difference between Bernadette and Thelma? What does that look like?
Well, she was a little bit more optimistic than I.
I love the way you said that.
Being the eldest child in the family, in my real family, I had more responsibilities, and being the second child and the only girl in the Evans family, I was a little more spoiled. So I had more fun. Yeah, so those are the differences.
Gotcha. I want to stay here, right here. I want to stay right here a bit longer. Oh my! And within that groundbreaking show, you covered a lot of issues during that time frame, especially even now. So if we look back, it fits into present day. So what are some of those issues that kind of still stand out to you present day?
Well, gangs, venereal disease, drugs, bullying. All those things, high blood pressure, hypertension, older people not getting married because they'll lose their, benefits, type of thing, so it's kind of like the same thing that's happening. It hasn't, and, bad food in the ghettos. Still the same, so, I mean, it has 43 years later, let's say 43 days, it hasn't really changed much.
Right.
We've changed our hair, we've changed our clothes, but we really haven't changed much.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Oh wow. And then we look at today, we look at the teenagers, right? During this time, your time. How did you beat that curse of being a teen star?
Well, my parents wouldn't have me, do anything else but do the right thing. I
Right.
was trained that way because I was born and raised in Brownsville in Brooklyn. And so everything that Hollywood had to offer that was naughty, I say,
Mhm.
um, I lived it. I lived it. I mean, I would see it every day. I would see junkies on the corner every single day. And when we would walk to school, we would always say, which one's going to hit the floor? Which one's going to hit the floor? Because, a heroin addict always nods down, right? They just nod slowly, move real, real
Oh,
slow, all the way down. But they never hit the ground. They
oh, I didn't
never
know that.
fall. It's the most amazing thing in the world. They never fall. So I'm like, we used to just say, I bet you that one's going to fall. Oh, no, that one's going to fall. And they never fall. That's how bad it was in my neighborhood. So when I got to Hollywood, my parents were okay with me they knew that I was not going to go into anything because I grew up in it. My daddy also always says to us, what's around you does not have to be in you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So, I mean, nothing fazed me. No, thank you. No, thank you. No.
Oh wow. And even after the show ended, and as time went on, did you even know the impact that you will still be making these many years later? And how does
Never.
it feel?
It feels wonderful now because, well, like you said, like you're the second generation, your little nephew's the third generation.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go out on my book tours and there are little kids there. I remember this one little boy, he was so cute. And he didn't even see me. He just walked up to the table and he saw the picture of the Good Times family. And he goes, and he starts singing the Good Times theme song. And he was like 5. I think he's 5 or 6. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you, God. I mean, it's so wonderful that it's generational, and it kept me popular all these years. So I just thank God for that. That was really a true blessing from God to me.
Yeah. Does your family see you as, oh my gosh, you're Thelma? Or it's like, okay, mama, what's next? What's
Oh,
up,
you mean
mama?
my kids?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you do it? No, they don't. I don't even think they recognize it. I was on TV. Come on. It's like, wait a minute. I have a granddaughter. She's 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was looking, I think she saw it on television one day and she told my husband, she said, that's Honey right there. I mean, like an everyday, but it is like an everyday occurrence to them because everybody's on television now. And, everybody's on the Zoom and stuff. So it's no big deal to them. It's like, yeah, that's Honey. When she was young, that's Honey. She calls me Honey. And so, it's no big deal. And then one day she said, Pop, Honey is a star. I said, what do you know about a star? What's a star? You mean the sky? What are you talking? I said, no, she doesn't know anything about a star and nothing. She just heard somebody say it. And so.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. She knows that, like, I know. You don't have to tell me. I know.
But it's like it doesn't really register though.
Right.
It's just an everyday occurrence, because everybody's on television. So what? I'll be on television one day too. One day, I guess you will. That's what she said. So. But my 2 daughters, they grew up with it. And I remember the moment they recognized that I was on television.
Mm-hmm.
The baby daughter, she was sleeping with me and the Good Times came on. It was like 5 a.m. or something. And I guess she heard my voice and she sat up and then she looked, I was up. She looked and she said, Ma, that's you. That's how she recognized it. And now at college, when she's there, like they'll play Good Times, she went to Hampton University and they would play it in the auditorium or the lunchroom. And she would say, Mom, you're on television again.
Bye. Just want to let you know.
I'm just a regular mom.
I love it. I love it. And again, it just shows how your energy and it's just amazing. It's definitely amazing. But when we come back, we're going to talk about life after Good Times. And we're also going to talk about this disease that you refer to as monster of the mind. We'll be right back. next. What is the monster of the mind? Bern Nadette explains. We'll be right back.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following two products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlow.com.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I,
Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
What's What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
My bossy and my crew.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We are still chatting with Bern Nadette Stanis over here with us, and I am just enjoying this conversation. And so, Bern Nadette, please tell us about your mom. What was she like growing up?
Okay, Mom was always a very quiet lady, but a very determined lady. Like if she wanted to do something, she was going to do it. And she was very quiet and very, just a nice little quiet lady. And when she got mad, she got even quieter. But but she was no pushover. Yeah. Okay, like when we did something wrong, she would let us know. I can remember when we were really, really little. My mom, this is how my mother used to do it, and we had to get a spanking. I remember this. My mother would sit down in a chair. Now, what mothers do? She would sit down in a chair and she would say, "Come here," and we were like, "What? Come here." And she said, "I'm not going to chase you. You're going to come here." We would have to walk to her.
That's the worst.
Did you hear what I said? We would have to walk over to her and lay across her lap so she can pop, pop, pop. I never in my life, my kids ran. I couldn't do
right.
it. Come here. And we would have to come there. I mean, I saw my brothers walk to her. I walked to her. That's the kind of power this lady had.
Wow.
And she was so sweet and so cool. I just said, I never understood that. But anyway, that's how she spanked us.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, she was just, she sacrificed a lot for us, for all of us, And an incident happened to my father. She was 59 years old. He was 66. And my father got murdered. Someone murdered my daddy. So I think that was the shock that turned her. She just never was the same. And then after that, we all were grown. So we all, left, and she moved into a smaller place. It was just her, and she was lonely, I think. And she never complained to us, never let us worry about anything. And then by the time she was 63 years old, we noticed that she was shaking. She started with the Parkinson's, and we didn't know what that was. So I told Mom to go to the doctor and find out what it is. Now, only after she passed away, and I was looking through all her writings, because she used to write just like I write. And she dates everything. She dated it. And that was the time I told her to go to the doctor. She said in her book, she said, "I went to the doctor, but I don't think I'm going to tell the children because I don't want them to worry." So that had to be Parkinson's. Okay. But see, I didn't know Parkinson's and Alzheimer's are on the same chromosome.
Oh.
So usually they go together. They can go together. So by the time she was 70, she had a full-blown Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And that's not that old anymore. It was old then, but 66 was old then, but it's not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that.
And so, when did you start seeing that change in your mom, in her behavior, her actions?
I lived in LA. She lived in New York. And we had a play in Washington, D.C. Called, I was at the Lincoln Theater, and it was Whatever Happened to Black Love. And so the whole family came down, and I saw my mother, and she was not put together right, not for coming to a play. And I'm like, did you guys not see what Mommy has on? She had on something, it just didn't fit. And it just did not fit. Her hair wasn't done right. And I'm like, oh my God, I knew something was wrong. And so like about a month later, my brother said, "Yeah, Mommy needs you to come and get her." And I went home and I saw it wasn't right. And I took Mommy back home with me. I took her to the doctor, and they said it was Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you heard that news, did you actually know what it was at that time? Or did you have to do some more research and ask
I didn't even know how to say the word. You know, it was Alzheimer's, what is that? And so when the doctor said to me, give your mother some kind of medicine that he gave me, he said, she has something called Alzheimer's. And I said, what is that? I said, Mom, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. I don't know what this is, but you're going to get more vitamins. We're going to fix. Don't worry about this. And so she's like, you know, whatever. And then the doctor looked at me and he put his head down. And I'm like, that's rude. You know, why doesn't he try to console me or talk to me or tell me? Because he already knew what it was. I did not know. I did not know what it was. There is no cure for Alzheimer's right now. So this seems to bother me. I have to tell you, this is so funny. I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, how did you get that disease? I said, I only heard that disease on Caucasian people, not Black people. We don't get that. Well, I always saw commercials with Caucasians, so I didn't know anything about that.
Well, you just imagine.
Caucasian people, well, how did you get that? I said, oh, I know how you got that. I said, you're Creole, so you have a little white blood in you.
Bernadette.
For all my white supporters and lovers, and I love you guys, please don't hold me to this. That's ignorance. I was totally ignorant. So I'm like, I learned, you know, and so, and he looked at me, poor doctor, he looked at me. So anyway, now that then I went home and I researched it and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, I feel so stupid. But African Americans get this disease twice as much as anybody gets it, and females even more. So, you know, I felt dumb saying that in front of that doctor. But it was a horrible, horrendous reality for me. Yeah. It really was, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why it happened to her. We were supposed to travel. We were supposed to write our book together. We were supposed to do all these things together. And I said, God, why? Why did this happen? And so one morning I got up and she was just as happy as she wants to be. And I'm like, golly, you know, but mommy's not well. And so when I gave her the medicine, she said, I'm back. I'm back. So she knew something was going on, but she didn't know what, right? So I said, well, I'm glad, Mommy. So, you know, we went along with that for a while. And then, of course, the medicine didn't work after a while. And I had to come to grips with some very hard realities about that. My mother was a bookkeeper, and she kept all the books and all the money, and she knew how to do things so well. And one day I gave her, you know, her money, because I would always put her money in her purse. And we go out and she's just giving money away. I said, okay, I can't do that again. Yeah. So I did something that I cried all the way there and cried all the way back. I went to the toy store and I bought play money. Looked and she sent me out and counted and put her money down and everything there, and did not recognize it was play money.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, I went in the back room and I just cried. And then I realized that at the end, when, you know, after Mommy passed away, something hit me. And it hit me like this, like God was talking to me. And he said that it had to be that way for your mother, because your mother was a worrier and she would have been in a pain knowing that she was dying. So with the Alzheimer's, she was happy every single day. She had no thought of being that she was dying. She didn't know she had Alzheimer's. She didn't know anything. She didn't know any of that. She just knew that she was happy. So I say, well, God knows best.
That's it. That's it. And we know we have to trust him because he does know best for us.
Yeah.
And
every one of us, not maybe for me, for her, but for her. Yeah.
Exactly. And as we talked about before, your story does hit home because this disease struck my family as well. I was a little bit younger, as I don't think I was a teenager yet, but we had to grow up very quickly. My mom, who was a single parent, and with 3 children, so we moved from our place to our grandparents' place. My grandmother started having the same symptoms as you talked about with your mother. and just seeing a very strong-willed, determined individual, spiritual, in the church. You know, we never saw her drink, smoke, or anything like that, just decline. And at one point, she only remembered who I was. And so, you know, and then my grandfather doing the same thing as time went on. So while my mom worked, taking care of the household and still working, trying to just meet all the demands.
Yeah.
Right. You know, my sisters and I stepped up. And so we will watch my older sister will watch my grandmother because she got her days and nights confused. And, you know, we will bathe her. We would walk with her, talk with her. I took care more of my grandfather, bathing him, talking with him, a man of God, a bishop in the church, you know, and just declining. So it allowed us to grow faster.
Yes.
Not having that childhood as we saw our friends do.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I would do it all over again.
Yes, of course. Of course. Because look at
do it all over again.
Don't cry.
Yeah, I'm not. I promise, Bernadette. I promise.
But you know what? It's for you know, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes you know those things are given to us so that we can go forward and help other people. Like, look at what you're doing now. You know, like how many people you're going to help just having a show that you have. You know, I speak to people about it. You know what I mean? If it can happen to me and my family, I mean, it can happen to anybody. They don't feel so like, why did it happen to me? You know, it happens. And so we have to manage the world. You know, this is what was given. So we manage through it, you know, and that's what we have to do because, you know, it's life and nobody's going to escape life. I mean, there's only one way out.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, so please talk about your foundation, Remembering the Good Times. What is that all about?
Okay, that sounds so cliche, doesn't it? Okay, but
I love it.
This is the truth. My mother and I were watching Good Times one day when she was in Alzheimer's, and she was looking at the television, and then you know, Thelma, JJ, they were doing their thing, and so all of a sudden I was sitting next to her, and she looked at me, and she said, "You know, that's a cute little old girl."
Yeah.
So she no longer knew it was me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yeah, Ma, she is," you know, and it was like a stab in my heart. And it's like, God, this wicked thing, this monster of the mind, it took away the very thing that changed our lives that my mother was so proud of, you know. And really, she was the reason why I'm Thelma. And she pushed me to do it. And, you know, so when it was over, I said, I'm going to name a foundation called Remembering the Good Times, an Alzheimer's foundation in my mother's memory.
Right. I love that. And the book also, The Last Night. Tell us more about that.
The Last Night, I named it The Last Night because the last night of her life, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That was interesting. When they called, my mother by this time had, she was, she had to go to a facility for like a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And because she had a feeding tube, and I didn't know how to take care of that. And they said that just to get her stronger, well, in the nursing home, instead of them washing the people with soap, they just wring the same towel around the place, I found out. And my mother caught the C. difficile disease. She caught the C. difficile, that's what it's called.
Oh
and it's a germ from not being clean, from not cleaning well. And in 6 months, she was dead. So the facility hired some women who really probably didn't like anything, and they just didn't care. Mm-hmm. And I just never went back to sue them or anything like that because I was still dealing with all that I had to deal with my mom and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was horrible. So you have to be careful with if they have to be in a facility just for a little while with the feeding tube, they're open. So you just got to be very careful because if they're not careful, they can die from that.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to Mom. I lost my thought. What was I saying? The last night. Okay. So when I got the call that her vitals were failing, and I went to the hospital. She was in the hospital by this time, and she had a feeding tube and all that, and then she couldn't talk. I was like, oh my God, my mom is dying. And what goes through your mind is that I've lived all these years with my mother. What am I going to do without my mom? You know, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And so when I went to the hospital, it was as if I was so scared and scared of what I would see. And so when I went to the hospital, just before I walked into the room where she was, it's like God just came to me and said, this is going to happen, and make it good for her. And I just got like a strength, like he gave me grace. And when I walked in there, I said, Mommy, I'm here. Don't worry about anything. I'm not leaving you until this thing is done. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew. And I laid down with my mom and I stayed right there with her. We prayed. And the room was so peaceful, so calm. And at the end, one of my daughters, Dior, said, she was looking at my mother's eyes and she said, Mommy, she looks like she's looking through, she's not looking right. So I said, well, give her the picture of Jesus. So she showed her the picture of Jesus. She said, no, Mommy, she looks like she's looking through that picture. I said, well, show her the picture of Mary. She loves Mary. She loves Jesus' mother. She'll look at her. So she showed her the picture. She said, no, Mommy, she's not looking at this picture. She's looking through a picture. And I'm like, through the picture? So then I walked on the other side of the bed and I looked at her and she was looking like this, looking all around, like in amazement. It's as if I said to my daughter, I said, it's looking like she's looking at the real thing. And she was. Because she was transitioning right then and there. And I could see it. It's as if I could see her just go. And I didn't even realize, and I started talking to her and saying, this is the moment I got to tell her, Mommy, I love you. I love you. I love you, Mommy. I said, we had fun, Mommy. I love you so much. I know you love me. I said, but you know what, Mommy, it's not over yet. And this looked like as soon as I said that, the nurse came in and she said, code blue. I didn't even know what code blue was, but she got me out of there. And they worked on her.
Yeah.
But it was death. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, it's just, so that night was a magical night, a sad night, but it was a night that taught me something. It taught me that God is real, mm-hmm. and that he'll be there for you when your moment comes, and he'll take your hand and pull you over. And I felt that my mother didn't die. She just transitioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't feel like death.
Whoa. Wow. He always gives us a lesson, even in the good and the bad. That man right there, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And so you have done so much in your life. What is something that you still want to accomplish?
I want to write a series of shows for the African-American woman who's over 50.
Mm.
But you don't have too many wonderful parts for us.
Right.
Where somebody's aunt, grandmother, or a Looney Tune, something. It's just not right. It's just not right.
So how is that process going for you?
It's going well. I'm working on it.
Okay. All right. I wasn't ready for none of that. I wasn't ready for any of that. All right. Okay. So
That's true.
Oh wow. Yeah, it is true. It's definitely true. So we can't wait for that project to come to fruition. So as time continues to go on for all of us, how does Bern Nadette want to be remembered in the world?
Well, I think that they're going to remember me as Thelma. I think that's going to be it. They're going to, no matter what I do, no matter how many plays, no matter how many books I write, they're going to say, put that Thelma down there. Put Thelma down there. And I love it. I love it. Because, it feels like, you remember how I Love Lucy when you were little? You used to watch, did you watch I Love Lucy? With my day, I Love Lucy. And so
I watched all of them.
Yeah. I feel like I became a I Love Lucy type of thing. Like, good times, Thelma. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Awesome. Well, keep doing what you're doing. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're youthful. You're young. All right. Still ideas in that awesome, brilliant mind of yours. Please continue to entertain us and inspire us through your words. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Bern Nadette Stanis. Thank you for being with us today.
But I want to add something.
Please.
I want to add something. I want everybody to follow me on Instagram, right? And then I want you to go to, now look, I'm thinking about this because it's hard for me. I'm getting there. And I want you to go to my bio. Wait a minute. Go to the bio. Then go down and press that last one down there and goes to my YouTube. I'm getting a YouTube. I got a little YouTube. So I want you to go and I want you to like, share, and subscribe.
There you go. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. She is on Instagram and she's on YouTube. I need you to go do it.
And follow me.
Follow her, subscribe, like all the stuff, because I do. I need you to do it too.
Thank you.
She's Bern Nadette Stanis. Thank you so much for being with us.
Michael.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series. This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If interested, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Thomas Anthony Jones. You might know me from Good Trouble or This Is Us. I encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Celebrate 100 shows. It's The Michael Finkley Show. Join us as we count down our top 5 shows and the foreseen moments. Come on, y'all. Let's celebrate. Next, Michael Finkley. Monday. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy the show. Y'all, it was a pleasure taping this one. Miss Bern Nadette Stanis, thank you so much for being with us and telling your story and just being who you are, the gracious, awesome woman that you are. Thank you so much. We're going to keep in touch. Thank you so much. On Monday's Finkley, again, we're celebrating 100 shows, so we're going to look back at some of these awesome shows that we've done, some blooper moments, all these different type of things, and we're just excited to be in that caliber of 100 shows. We work so hard, and you get to see all of the awesomeness on Monday. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Michael Finkley Show, ring that bell for notification. We'll send you emails saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And also, too, for up-to-date information about what we do here at the Michael Finkley Show, please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good weekend. Go rest your bones in your life. We'll be back on Monday. Have a good one.